We have some big news right now. MAGA Republicans are turning against Donald Trump, and it looks as though MAGA is on the verge of a possible civil war over everything that's happening between the FBI and the Department of Justice and the Epstein files. MAGA is just not satisfied with what the Trump administration is doing and the narrative Donald Trump is pushing himself. You have some of Donald Trump's most loyal people on the internet saying now that he has turned his back on them, on essentially the cause, on MAGA, and it looks like it's only getting worse. He wants to move on, right? He wants to tell the world about Rosie O'Donnell and try to revoke her citizenship. He wants to distract his own base, seemingly, from the issues that they care about. And right now, they're very unhappy. And it looks as though it's only going to continue and it's only going to get worse if Trump does not do something fast, whether it's potentially firing Pam Bondi, removing the head of the FBI. Stay tuned.
Donald Trump is getting buried under polls as America turns on him and his lies backfire. He is losing his swing states by light speed, and he's turned Americans off to the idea of Trump so bad that Texas is turning blue. And MAGA is getting out while they can because Trump has seemingly done irreversible harm to the Republican Party, as well as people calling in saying they are unwillingly losing weight because they simply can't afford to eat food. This is the America Trump has created, and it is exploding in his face. And things have gotten so bad, there was so much discourse for him that Trump is now trying to set up elections in his favor, because it is said that he is on his last legs, his last resort, and that's going to be declaring a national emergency to seek executive power over the elections. This is widespread. And of course, that has not stopped him as well from deleting even more of the Epstein files, as they temporarily disabled the DOJ's page to look up them, to where if you try to search up Trump, Epstein, or anything at all related to the Epstein files, nothing populates. However, let's start with the polls to see how people really feel about what Trump has done to their economy. Let's take a look at this clip.
Right now, the president is going down like Sonny Liston. What are we talking about here? Okay, Trump's net approval rating, key swing states in Wisconsin, down negative 10 points. Of course, he won that state by about a point back in 2024. How about Pennsylvania? Down to negative 15 points on the net approval rating in Pennsylvania, a state he won in 2016 and 2024, lost in 2020. As I said, as go Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, so goes the nation. In this case, Donald Trump is going down in both. What is driving these numbers? What is driving President Trump down? It's his handling of the economy. It's this thing that we're seeing nationally impacting in the key swing states. Because just take a look here. Okay, Trump and the economy, swing state voters. Pennsylvania, Trump's economic disapproval rating, 56%. That doesn't work for Republicans. That doesn't work for Donald Trump either. How about in Wisconsin? Say Trump's policies raise inflation. Again, you get the majority, 53%. These numbers tracking very closely with how those voters feel overall in those two key swing states. And again, Donald Trump underwater.
Trump is absolutely getting buried in his own lies as the truth slowly leaks out. This is a surprise to no one because Donald Trump has delivered on none of his promises to America to do anything for them. As a matter of fact, he's only taken from them. And instead of actually doing something to fix this or taking a look in the mirror and saying, I need to do better for my country, instead, Trump wants to introduce a new executive order giving him extraordinary powers. This is coming directly from White House officials. This is because Donald Trump's only focus has been making himself and his constituents richer, especially when he made this announcement that he wants the housing prices to go up, after he promised Gen Z he would lower it for them so they could have affordable housing. And on top of that, Trump lost 1 million jobs last year alone. Multiple CEOs came out and said, we're laying off tens of thousands of people because our AI is getting too good. And we're going to get to these CEOs in a little bit, but first let's take a look at Trump saying himself on January 29, 2026 that he's going to raise the prices of houses. Let's take a look at this clip.
Existing housing, people that own their homes, we're going to keep them wealthy. We're going to keep those prices up. We're not going to destroy the value of their homes so that somebody that didn't work very hard can buy a home. We're going to make it easier to buy. We're going to get interest rates down. But I want to protect the people that for the first time in their lives feel good about themselves. They feel like that they're wealthy people. And I want them to understand it. There's so much talk about, we're going to drive housing prices down. I don't want to drive housing prices down. I want to drive housing prices up for people that own their homes. And they can be assured that's what's going to happen.
You quite literally couldn't make this stuff up. Because what Trump doesn't understand is you don't have a future if you don't take care of the younger generations that are going to be the future of America. But Trump is only concerned with right now. However, this is exactly why Trump is so afraid of midterms and elections, because they know they're going to lose. State by state, city by city, district by district is turning blue. This is because Nazi policies do not work. We are the United States of America, and we're seeing it happen right now. Donald Trump truly is digging his own grave, and it's getting deep. And Trump is in a panic. He is about to lose everything. Let's take a look at this clip.
Well, look at this. It's a different world. It's a different world. Look at this. The 2026 polling, Democrats ahead by 6 points on the generic ballot in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So what we're seeing up top is funneling its way down ballot. And these are the types of numbers that have to make Democrats jump for joy, because these are the types of numbers that suggest that they are, in fact, going to take take back the House come November. It's the Calci prediction markets. What do they say? They say Democrats are more than likely not to win both of them. Wisconsin looks like they'll retain it there, 70% chance. Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, of course, very likely going to be a 2028 Democratic candidate for president. Looks like he's going to win there as well, 91% chance. These are the types of numbers that you want to launch off for if you're going to run for president.
Trump has done everlasting damage on America, so much so that even Texas has a 60% chance of a Democratic turnout. America has woken up to Trump's lies time and time again as he gaslights them every single day and pays off his political officials to do it as well. Not only are they protecting the Epstein class, they are the Epstein class as they hide the Epstein files from the public and protect their Lord and Savior Donald Trump so they can continue to remain in power and receive paychecks from him. Many people were depressed and thought that things would never change, but we're watching it happen right now. They are changing. And as it stands right now, there is nothing Donald Trump can do about this. And to show you how big of a deal
this message is for President Trump. Since you came down that escalator, my life has been a living hell, and I fought through it because I am a fighter. I am livid over what you just did to Marjorie Taylor Greene. I voted for you 3 times. I attended every rally in D.C. on my own dime. The amount of money it cost me. I stayed at your hotel at Trump D.C., sir. $700-800 a night. No discount for the military. Do you know that? Did you guys know that Trump hotels do not give military discounts? Our country's suffering and you keep talking about all these things you're doing. I don't feel it at the grocery store. I need a Valium and a vodka to even go to the grocery store because I look at my card after spending $200 and I'm like, what the fuck did I just buy? You literally had a communist in your office and you were kissing his ass. I never thought I would ever say this, but I'm no longer a Trump supporter. You're a fucking disgrace.
Love to see it. Welcome back, everyone, to my little mini-series on Trump supporters completely turning on him. And what's great is Candace Owens actually did a lot of our work for us, which was hilarious to watch. And between all the fun theories that she came up with and the fact that the economy completely sucks right now, we're seeing Trump supporters turn on him every day. So guys, please let me know if you want to see some more of these. I've got plenty more where this came from, and I got plenty of popcorn, okay? All right, love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Wow. Things are going very, very badly for Donald Trump, and he is not taking it well. He is panicked, and he is melting down. MAGA is cracking up. I know a lot of people don't believe it, but I'm telling you, we are witnessing the end of Donald Trump and of MAGA. The whole thing is crashing and burning. Republicans are panicked over this war. They're scared to death of getting wiped out in the midterms. And now they're panicked that Trump is actually going to go forward with a ground invasion of Iran. And they are doing everything they can, I'm sure, behind the scenes and also publicly begging him not to go forward with this. I've got some comments from Nancy Mace that I want to share with you. And I think she speaks for what is probably the Republican consensus on this, although it doesn't seem like they're all opposed to this war because we just see a handful of the same people who go on TV, defending Donald Trump and this war. But most of these Republicans in Washington, I guarantee you, want this to end yesterday. They're scared to death of this thing dragging on and of Donald Trump making it exponentially worse, which it appears that he may very well be about to do. But more importantly than Republicans panicking is that MAGA influencers are turning. I've been covering this for a while. They have been turning, some of them since the beginning of Trump's second term, because the betrayal started almost immediately. And, people jumping ship, these MAGAs jumping ship and criticizing Trump started very slowly at first, but it's really starting to pick up steam. And a lot of them, I'm going to share with you a couple, but I'm telling you, more and more of them are speaking out against Trump. They're speaking out. They've come to the realization that this was all a lie, that Trump has been lying to them from the beginning. It's all been a con job. It's all been a grift. MAGA has all been bullshit, and they're pissed. They're pissed. So I got a couple of clips that I want to play for you of that. But let's begin with Nancy Mace. They had a classified briefing yesterday on Capitol Hill about the war effort, the illegal war going on with Iran. And Nancy Mace came out, and she's not the only one. but I want to focus on her here because she put out a series of tweets, and I also have a clip of her that I want to play. But here's what she said. Here's the first tweet she posted. She wrote, "Just walked out of a House Armed Services briefing on Iran. Let me repeat, I will not support troops on the ground in Iran, even more so after this briefing." Next one she put up, "I will not support sending South Carolina's sons and daughters to war in Iran. I won't do it. President Trump has been enormously successful so far, but we cannot allow the Washington war machine to turn Iran into another Iraq." Now, let me comment on this because, you've got two different things going on, two different groups that are important inside the Republican coalition, and that is elected Republicans in Washington and around the country, really, but Republican politicians. Then you have Republican and MAGA influencers. You got cable news, you got Fox News, you got Newsmax, and those people are going to be the last to turn, if they ever do, right? But then you have a group which is increasingly important and powerful and has a lot of influence, and that is the alternative right-wing media, podcasts, YouTube, those kinds of people, and they're turning. These are younger people. Okay, when we're talking about talk radio and cable news, Fox News, and all of that, these are the boomers who watch that, and they are the most.
Watch this huge MAGA fan realize over time that Donald Trump's big ugly bill actually hurts him and his family. This was him before the bill got signed into law.
I bet y'all don't think Donald Trump's a liar now. No taxes on tips, overtime, and Social Security passed the House today with flying colors in effect after December 31st, 2025. And y'all said he wouldn't do it, but he did the shit in 5 months.
But after he actually read the bill and realized that Donald Trump is not only breaking a bunch of his promises, but hurting the American people as well, his tune changed a little bit. Take a look at him now.
You know why we voted for Donald Trump? Because the middle class man finally thought he was going to get ahead in life. You said no taxes on overtime. Big, bold, beautiful letters. We thought, hell yeah, why would we not vote for that? Then you turn around and pass the bill and it's a crock of shit. It's a tax credit for the people that make a certain amount of money. Of course, when you put it in big, bold, beautiful letters, it looks great. We're going to vote for you. And you knew what you were doing. You were baiting people in, saying, no taxes on overtime. You didn't give no fucking details. Your details that we read ain't worth a flying fuck.
Yeah, once again, another Trump supporter in the finding out phase of their support for Donald Trump. They thought he was going to make the country better, for some reason supported him, and now they're realizing that, wow, Donald Trump doesn't actually care about any hardworking person out there. He cares about himself and his billionaire buddies. So once again, MAGA, you got played, just like that guy.
Breaking news, the Trump administration is legitimately drowning, like actually crumbling in the court of public opinion right now. And it's not just from people on the left. We're talking left, right, and center. Here's everything that you need to know. First and foremost, people on the left, right, and center are calling for the resignation of Trump administration officials. More specifically, the Attorney General Pam Bondi, after her terrible performance in front of Congress yesterday, where she was supposed to be answering their questions about the Epstein files, but instead, she just yelled at them for saying Trump could be involved, deflect away from answering any of their questions, talked about the stock market instead, and wouldn't even look at the survivors. And when I say people on the right are calling for her to resign, I mean it. Huge Republican influencers like Kyle Rittenhouse and many others have publicly made statements telling her to step down, telling her to resign. And second of all, if you remember how earlier in the video I brought up the fact that while Pam Bondi was sitting with Congress talking about the Epstein files, or at least that's what she was supposed to be talking about, in response to one of their questions, she said, well, the Dow Jones is at $50,000. That has been catalyst into an apolitical meme that Americans who are usually not politically involved across this country are now using to shit on the Trump administration. Once again, left, right, and center. Let me show you an example. My wife, how late were you out last night? Me, the Dow Jones is over $50,000. But anyways, that's all for now. I think it's a good thing that Americans across this country, regardless of their political affiliation, are beginning to wake up to just how terrible the Trump administration is. Good news.
This is some terrible news for Donald Trump. Some of his own fans are starting to turn on him as he embraces the idea of going to war with Iran. Like, for example, conservative commentator Candace Owens just said Donald Trump just completely fractured his base, and he did it for the very neocons who minted the Never Trump movement. Truly unbelievable. This guy said in a now viral tweet, "F it, if Trump takes us to war, I'm done with him and his administration. I voted for no wars, cheap gas, no taxes, cheap groceries, Maga. What of these things have actually happened? I'm pissed." Newsflash, buddy, you got played. And in replies to Donald Trump on social media, people are losing it. This guy said, Trump lost it. I thought Trump cared about relationships. Clearly something is wrong with him. This guy said, you're going to throw away your entire presidency over a war with Iran. Sam said, very disappointed. We don't want this. Safe to say that even some of Donald Trump's diehard supporters are not on board with what he's doing right now. And there are many more examples. I imagine that this is only going to get worse.
When Alex Jones, the guy who said they're turning the frogs gay, says this about Donald Trump, you know it's over.
Trump needs intervention. He needs to take some time off. When your ankles swell up 3 times the size they were before, that means heart failure. And he does look sick. And he does babble and, sound like the brain's not doing too hot. We need to pray for Trump, the Holy Spirit touch his heart and loose him from whatever evil control he's under. I'm serious.
When the conspiracy theorists of the far right are now creating conspiracy theories to explain the behavior and demeanor of the guy they love, that's that.